Okay, I didn't take a video of my first one. I just wanted to get on with it. But this is my first attempt at doing this, and I've actually amazed myself. I it's pretty close. Here's the original, and I learned a few things along the way that I won't do the next time. But it's pretty close. The curve is just a little off. The angle seems to be pretty good. It might need to be angled a little bit more back here. But I drew a pattern on the workbench here of the curves. That's why I'm glad I left this one in one piece. And I'm pretty close. Made the bottom flat, but this is not. This needs to be flat. So I'm quite a ways off there, and I'm not totally certain how to get this flat like this one is. I mean, this one is, everything lays flat and lays flat. You know, got this to lay flat, this not so much. So I'm looking for more suggestions from you guys, but I think I'm actually got a relatively good handle on it. But I'm not totally certain how to do that. I'm going to make another one right now, so I'll get that one on video so you can see what I'm doing, good, bad, or indifferent. But I know I was going to practice a bit. I planned on it, so. But I got closer than I thought for my first go at it. That's almost usable, but not to my liking. Okay, let me get set up and we'll start bending some angles. Okay, here's the next one. My shrinker stretcher works quite well, other than I have to change the jaws, you know, to go either way. It would be nice to have two of these. I know they sell the one sets, you know, in pairs, but this one seemed to be a little bit better quality and have a little deeper. You can put the metal in further in, although I don't need that now, but I'll probably end up getting another one of these eventually, so I can have one for each. It gets kind of slow changing in and out, especially when you're trying to go back and forth on the same piece. You need to stretch here and shrink here. But anyway, I scribed the lines of the depth of the bends on both sides. I did it only on one side before. I'm discovering I should have done it on both sides so I can really see what I'm doing. So I'm going to bend the one straight edge first. Guess I should have checked if I'm bending that the right way. I like to bend this in the same way as the piece that I got for the original piece. I may have bent that the wrong way. No, actually it doesn't matter. which way. If it's when I go to bend it the other way, it's going to be important. So. And overbent by a little bit. Good enough for now. Okay, I need to bend this bottom one in. How I did that before. I think I'll go do this on the other. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're working. I tipped it with my my wide pair of pliers, and they started the tip. It's the best way or not, but that's one suggestion. Bad. Tipping die would definitely make this a little quicker and easier. Yeah, oh well, that's working for me. How much workbench space here? That's what I got. Pretty fair. I gotta tip the top one in. Back to my pliers, I guess. Problem I've been having is this, by the time I get around here and start shrinking and stretching it, this rolls up like a banana. I'm not totally certain. I've been twisting it by hand to get it back down again. It seems to do pretty good, but you panel beaters out there will probably have a few more suggestions on how to take care of that problem, because it seems to be the biggest problem I'm really having with the finished, or when I start getting into the final stretch anyway. Looks pretty good. And it even starts to curve a little bit the right direction. So I'm doing this. Actually, nice to have something that's already at the pre-width. I can just use it to tweak the sheet metal. I can probably make up a tool for that. But for right now, this is working. If I can see where the tipping wheel could kind of give me a sharper line. But this is my learning curve. So to speak. Learning curve, yeah, get it? And you can really see where it's taking on the curve. Not bad. Keep it right on that line, trying to keep a good line. My hardest thing. This hammer might work a little better. How am I doing so far? Right, wrong, bad, throw it away? Yeah, trying to get a good, sharp, crisp line there is one of my difficulties. I can do it. Start going around that curve is where it gets difficult. this round. This seems to come in better. Yeah, same problem I have with the other one. I end up right here in this, where it's starting to curve here and not getting a good sharp edge. Well, I need more workbench space here. Get the shrinker stretcher working here. Jaws I got in it right now. I got the stretchers in it now, so I got the shrinkers in. Oh, I was going to draw a line. Well, I'm just going to freehand it, I guess. I'm finding a little is a lot sometimes with this thing. Refer to my piece here a little more often. Up here further. Yeah, I got to change the jaws out and now stretching the bottom is probably next. It seems I got to do a little bit of both, but I tell you what, having to go back and forth between the bolting in the jaws is sort of a pain. Come back here in a few minutes. Okay, my battery died on the camera, so I did a little bit more stretching off camera. I drew these patterns on the table here of the original piece so I can figure out how my curve's coming. As you can see, it really pulls up on it as I'm shrinking it and stretching it, and this one here is really pulled out of shape. I still got to pull it in a bunch more, so it's just checking where I'm at. Yeah, I still need a lot more on the bottom one, but let's go over here and show you how I've been dealing with getting it put back into place here. The way I've been getting this curve out of the bottom is been clamping it down. And I need another little piece of steel. Well, bigger than I need, but Yeah, the bottom's starting to come in pretty good. Yeah, it's looking about right on the bottom compared to the original. Now I gotta switch out my jaws and shrink. Okay, switched out the jaws. Now I'll do some shrinking. Alright. Still pretty heavy crease there. I think I'm going to have to dolly that out. I'm going to see about how my curve is looking there. Yeah, that's pretty much right there. So I got this curvature here matches the pattern now, but it needs to be leaned in some more. Of course, that's probably going to throw that curve out. I don't know. Every time I move one thing, something else moves. Yeah, the whole thing moves. Been using this block of wood for sort of a mallet. Gloves on. No, sharp. Yeah, I get pretty close, but not exact. This is, it warps the bottom all to shit when I try to readjust it. Still not doing something right. I'm pretty close, but not close enough. Move one thing and something else moves. Yep. Close, but just no cigar. The upper one seems to be pretty good. I'll have to measure to make sure that I've got the distances here right. They seem to be, this one seems to be a bit taller. Don't know. Might be an optical delusion. Where's my square nose? And my back is killing me tonight. Just standing out here doing this little bit of work. So does not feel good at all. Yeah, it's close, but it's just not. And this is really warped now, this lower edge. Yeah, it's humped way up. Better. Still. The curve's not sloped enough here compared to the original. Yeah, it needs to be. Shit. I can put more slope in it, then something else moves. Tape measure that. Two and 3/4, I think. 2 3/4. I mean, I'm right in there. Just looks taller, I guess, for some reason, but damn, I'm just having a hell of a time getting all the. I'm doing this is like in 3 dimensions and get it close, but no. Knocking these kinks out. Better. You can see it in the pictures, but Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting close. But every time I move something out, it warps out of shape. Close, but I think I still need more curve here also. Let me check my datum. Yeah, it's close, but god damn. It's that last little bit where I'm really having the problem. Yeah, not a bad looking curve, you know. Low there. You can hit that up with a hammer. Not much room to work here, but that's what I got to deal with. Damn, I'm just so close. Well, I think I got enough for a video for now. Tell me what you think so far. You know, I'm pretty happy, but being a bit of a perfectionist, it also irritates me. So, give me your thoughts. Just you panel beaters out there, give me a few more hints and clues. But this is only the second one I've ever made. You know, the first one you saw that I've ever tried to form anything like this. So I'm actually sort of pleased with myself in one way, but not as much in another. But this shrinker stretcher is invaluable. A bead roller would be nice to put this a nice sharp edge, which I think I can still get pounded in there, but I just don't have a bead roller. I'm trying to buy a cheap one, but Amazon, any of those places won't send them to me in Alaska. Just say not available in your area. You know, crap. So, at least as a matter of fact, half these shrinker stretchers weren't either. This one was. So, I'm pretty pleased with it, especially if I need to go in deeper. This one can do it compared to the others. But I may have to get another one if I can get the money, so I can have one set up to shrink and one set up to stretch. I'd like to. I can also make them foot operated, but right now I'm just using it this way, and it actually works quite easy this way. So, anyway, more later.